Emily Schrader's there? Oh, wow. He said he's all right. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? What's up, man? What's up, man? Everything good? Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. What's up, bro? Yeah, Emily Schrader, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, Emily Schrader, right? That is me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, follow your stuff on social media. It's great content, by the way. I love it. Yeah. So. Where are you from? You're from Brooklyn. Yeah, me there. Me. Independent. Yeah, this guy came from city. Yeah, I just came from city council, so. Yeah, I just came from city council, so like I'll be running here.
If you get like the sweetest gig at CNN, do it for like a year.
Yeah.
And then get out.
Yeah. But thanks for supporting this event. I appreciate it. Yeah. Follow your stuff on social media lives. That's how I mean to support. So I support for Israel, you know? Huh? Who's that? A Palestinian? Okay, Palestinian. Yeah. Uh-huh. Can I take a selfie with you, Emily? Yeah. Hey. Thank you, Emily. Thank you. Yeah. Let me go right here. So a lot of Israeli flags here. Oh yeah. Let me get one. Maybe I get a couple. I'm Israeli. You know what I mean? So. So we're live. It's the Israel support rally. You know what it is. Yad Yamin's here. So.
Я посмотрю на Рейтерс, если будут какие-то слои, которые можно... Пока не видел. Я видел публикации в Нью-Йорк-Пост.
It's gonna go live. It's just, like, don't get me wrong. I support it. Fuck it. I'm Israeli. So yeah, Emily Schrader's here. So a lot of people that support Israel here. I support Israel too.
Reminder, everybody, what do we say when we get exposed to hate? I'm Israel High! Well, I'm Israel High, and what are the 3 words?
We love you.
Yes.
Before they start, let me see. They have hoodies here. What's up, bro? Yeah, they don't. What they got the hoodies here? Nah, they don't. So curb your anti-Semitism.
I have a package for you, okay?
Let me get back in the kit if I lose my spot. I mean, I'm here. Oh, I was here, bro. Sorry, bro. Go ahead. Oh, text me. Yeah, I got you.
Everybody listen up!
Unfortunately, we've been told that we can't use a megaphone and we can't use a microphone. So that's what that is, and we abide by the law, so we're going to stick to that. Well, we're going to try to project our voices as much as possible, and we're going to get started.
No talking, we gotta keep our voices down.
Exactly. So we can hear Michelle.
One more time, if someone comes by and spews the hate, what do we say?
I'm Israel High! 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 Okay. All right, everybody. So on that note, thank you all for coming. And here we are. And for anybody unfamiliar with NSU Hatred, we work for a grassroots Jewish civil rights movement. And we work, really to ensure through our grassroots mobilization and working with so many other partners, we work to ensure that Jewish civil rights are upheld and Jewish empowerment thrives. Guys, never before has this been more relevant and necessary, and on that note, we're gathered here today in unity. Unity in support of all of our Jewish members of the New York City school system. We're here alongside all of you to send an urgent message to Chancellor Banks that just as Mayor Adams so eloquently stated in October, we Jews are not okay. We are not okay seeing a teacher at Hillcrest High School barricaded in a room after students rioted against her for nothing more than pro-Israel social media content. We are not okay seeing a world map up in a classroom at PS 261 without Israel on it. We are not okay having a preschool teacher at PS 59, just one of many like her across NYC schools, that among so many other deplorable social media posts and actions, promoted a children's ABC book which teaches such extreme views as I is for Intifada. I could go on and on, but I'll leave the message short. The fact is, everybody, hate crimes targeting Jews are at staggering rates. Jewish children are fearful of wearing their Jewish stars. Jewish teachers are at risk of alienation from colleagues in the name of social justice. And Jewish learning is compromised when curriculum is taught with skewed and false narratives. Our time to be heard is now, everybody. So please, to our esteemed Chancellor, please don't only hear, but truly listen to us and our needs. And on that note, I'll pass things over to Tova Cloud, the founder of NYC GS Alliance and an NYC educator. Tova.
First of all, I want to say how amazing it is. Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Tova Cloud. I'm the founder of the New York City Public School Alliance. Founded is a grassroots organization of parents, teachers, and educators, and students, tons of students advocating against hate in our schools, and we just really appreciate everyone being here to stand up for the Jewish students in our schools. We're here today to express our support for the Jewish students, children, families, and educators in New York City Public Schools. The New York City Public School Alliance was founded to combat hate in New York City Public Schools, and your presence here today sends a strong message to the leaders of our schools that it's time for change. It's time to value our Jewish voice. It is time to protect our Jewish students. It is time to hold accountable those that spread lies and embed biases in our children. It is time to educate against hate in our schools. It is an imperative that we eradicate anti-Semitism from our schools now. It is crucial to recognize the real and distressing instances where hate has reared its ugly head. And I want to share with you just 3 of very many examples that highlight the urgency of our situation and our mission. Firstly, picture a high school hallway where a young student merely trying to navigate her way through the bustling crowds is subjected to the painful taunt of being called a baby. This derogatory label not only attacks her personally, but also represents a broader manifestation of prejudice that has no place in our educational institutions. In another disheartening incident, imagine a classroom of middle schoolers facing disparagement and shouts accusing them of committing genocide. These children, still navigating their formative years, should not have to bear the weight of baseless accusations that only serve to perpetuate hatred and division. Our schools must be safe spaces where every student can learn and grow without fear of unwarranted attacks. And finally, consider the case of a dedicated teacher who found herself barricaded in an office, seeking refuge with police officers as students rioted outside her classroom because she is Jewish. The shocking calls for her to be executed in the town square are not just an isolated incident, but a stark reminder of the alarming consequences of unchecked taste within our educational system. These distressing stories underscore the pressing need for change. We cannot sit idly by as our students face such vitriol within the very walls that should be nurturing their intellectual and emotional growth. Our mission to eradicate anti-Semitism is not just an abstract idea. It's a call to action to protect the well-being of every student and educator. It is time. The time is now for a zero-tolerance policy against hate speech, Jewish erasure, and anti-Semitism within our schools. We must send a clear message that such behavior is unacceptable, and those that engage in it will be held accountable. We call upon Mayor Adams and Chancellor Banks to send a powerful message that our educational institutions are committing to creating environments where every student and educator, including Jewish students and educators, can thrive and feel safe. Let these examples and the many experiences of the Jewish students and educators across our city serve as a rallying cry for us all. We stand here today united to create a culture of respect, empathy, and understanding of Jewish families, students, and educators within our schools. It is high time that we include the Jewish voice in our public schools. Jewish students, teachers, and staff should feel a sense of belonging and pride in their identity within the educational system. This inclusivity will not only benefit the Jewish community, but will also enrich the educational experience for all students, fostering the spirit of unity and cooperation. The children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. By instilling in them the values of tolerance, accepting, and understanding, we are sowing the seeds of a brighter and more harmonious future. It is our collective responsibility to stand up against anti-Semitism, eradicate biases from our educational system, and ensure that our schools become places where every voice is heard and respected. Let us build a future together where our schools stand as beacons of enlightenment, tolerance, and inclusivity. The New York City Public School Alliance stands here today to remind New York City that Jewish hate does not belong in our schools.
Thank you. And Jew hate I'm inviting another public school teacher to speak, Karen Bell. Please come introduce yourself and thank you for being here. Take my glasses. Thank you so much. Hello, my name is Karen Bale. I am an elementary school teacher. I'm also a parent of New York City Public School children. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today regarding a matter of great urgency and importance. I'm talking about anti-Semitism. We have a chance now to end this perpetual cycle of hatred, Jewish hatred, and focus on educating, not propagating. I keep thinking to myself, this can't be. How is this even possible? If we were any other group, how would this be handled? When will our city, our state, our leaders really going to address the issue that they keep silenced about? I want to emphasize that today my intention is never, ever to diminish another group or cultural background, but rather shine a light on the unique experiences of the Jewish people and the importance in acknowledging and respecting us. We matter too, and we have mattered for over 5,700 years. We have made contributions to technology, the defibrillator, the pacemaker, the polio vaccine, batteries, Barbies, jeans, just to name a few. I'm not sure if you heard of this one, Google. When we recognize and appreciate the accomplishments of others, it not only dispels unfounded stereotypes, but also serves as a testament to the power of diversity in shaping a better world, which is what we want for our children. A world where everyone can be celebrated and acknowledged for their success. And when we do this, we contribute to a global culture that values inclusion, respect, and unity for all. Hear, hear. While I do want to acknowledge the devastation and the impact that it's had, it is imperative that we reject the injection of anti-Semitism into the discourse. Not one bit. We must start engaging in open and constructive dialogue about the conflict and foster understanding and seek peaceful solutions. And if I had one wish, it would be a wish for peace, because our children don't deserve the choice that we are forcing them into. Either they're being silenced or they're becoming political activists. And I think now is the time that we need to shift our narrative from focusing solely on past atrocities and explore ways we can grow together as a society. Just as any other community, Jews deserve to feel safe. They deserve a place where they can freely express their identity and live without fear of discrimination, persecution, and violence. And it's essential that our society learns from history and ensures that the mistakes of the past are never repeated. By promoting tolerance, understanding, empathy, and a little compassion, we can build a world where individuals of all backgrounds can thrive and contribute to the collective progress of humanity. So I'm going to say it again, one more time. It is crucial that we are not allowing the injection of anti-Semitism and propaganda into this discourse. Anti-Semitism has no place in any civilized society. It has no place in the New York City public schools, not in our city, not in our state, not in our country, not in our world, and not on this planet. And it undermines the principle of tolerance, diversity, and respect that we should all strive to uphold. Thank you. End Jew hatred! 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 And I have another one, guys. Education, not indoctrination. Education, not indoctrination. Education, not indoctrination. We could come up with a lot of good ones also. Just you wait. Okay, now everybody, next we have Emily. Emily Schrader, a lot of you might know her. She's amazing. You know, sometimes it's not easy to be such a loud voice, but she makes it look very easy. So thanks for your support. Whoever doesn't know, it's Emily in Tel Aviv. You are amazing what you do for our people. So Emily wants to say a few words.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say I flew here from Israel a few days ago, and I want to thank all of you for coming to this event. I can't tell you how much it warms my heart and the heart of everyone in Israel, both Arab and Jewish, to see that people are taking a stand in defense of our people on the ground. After 115 days of war, after seeing my friends, my co-workers slaughtered on October 7th, and what we witnessed in response to the massacre denial, and not undifferent from what we see in Holocaust denial, from those who are seeking to politicize rape, from those who are seeking to politicize murder. And sadly, just as we've seen from the UNRWA teachers, the refugee agency for Palestinians in Gaza, who took part in the October 7th massacre, school teachers, we're seeing the same type of rhetoric from some of these teachers in the New York City public school system. This is madness, absolute madness. As an Israeli, I'm here to tell you that for years, we have been sounding the alarm about UNRWA, about the incitement to hatred and the Jew hatred that's taught in classrooms, in Palestinian classrooms. And now we've sadly experienced what takes place when this rhetoric isn't stopped. It starts with words, but it doesn't end with words. As a journalist, I've covered this issue of anti-Semitism in New York City public schools, speaking to parents, some of whom are here, about this issue since long before October 7th. Why has nothing been done? Why does it take more dead Jews to demand accountability from the Department of Education and the New York City public school system? And that goes for elementary schools, for high schools, and yes, for universities as well. It's unacceptable. As someone who experienced this war firsthand, I urge you to take action before it's too late. What starts with Jews doesn't end with Jews. Now is the time to act. Stand against this Jew hatred in classrooms. Stand against the Hamas terrorism because it harms both sides. Stand against sexual violence as a method of war. Stand against the Islamic Republic and all of its terror proxies. Because the rhetoric we see today, it isn't just words. It's a statement of intent. It's incitement to violence. And it's putting a target on the backs of every single Jewish person first, and later others in the Western world. We will not be silent, both for the sake of Israel, for the sake of the Jewish community as a whole, and most importantly, for the sake of humanity. Thank you. Thank you.
And now we have another amazingly loud voice in our community, Melissa Chapman. Where are you? Melissa?
Melissa Chapman, are you here?
Okay, that's fine. We were just pushing her up. Okay, so she'll come here afterwards. So now we're going to turn the tables onto an NYC parent and also an elected representative of the Citywide Council on High Schools, Rachel Bremer. Rachel?
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks to everyone who came out this cold afternoon. I'll try. Okay. My name is Rachel Bremer. I'm a proud student, a proud Zionist, and a lifelong New Yorker. I grew up not far from here on the Lower East Side and attended public schools from pre-K to 12th grade. My parents both taught in New York City public schools. In fact, my mother substitute taught yesterday. I am also, as you heard, I'm an elected rep to the Citywide Council on High Schools, but I'm speaking today in my personal capacity. I've been an activist on school issues for many years, and I never would have imagined that I would have to come here today to speak on this particular issue and to speak about anti-Semitism in the public schools. I appreciated hearing the Chancellor speak last week about how schools should educate, not indoctrinate. But he was light on details, and as we all know, the devil is in the details. Education and a lack of indoctrination are two sides of the same coin. One is about keeping political indoctrination out. The other is about bringing accurate, unbiased facts in. So what is actually being done to stop the anti-Semitic indoctrination taking place in our public schools. At PS 705 in Brooklyn, we have teachers teaching students a song about resisting the so-called settler occupation. Have they been forbidden from teaching this song? I mean, banning one song is clearly not enough. Have they been removed from the classroom? Required to attend professional development on anti-Semitism or the history of the Middle East? Marked down on their evaluations? Have there been any consequences for the principal of that school to allow that to happen?
Shame.
What about the preschool teacher who put up a poster of the shape of people's noses and talked about how that is related to their ethnicity? What about Principal Terry Gray, who encouraged her staff to attend a Teach-In for Palestine this coming Saturday? Has she been disciplined? Has she been removed? And what about the teachers who attend this Saturday's event and bring those materials into the classroom? Is anyone making sure that doesn't happen? These are just a few of the incidents that we know about. What about the incidents we don't know about? That's the not indoctrination part. What about the education part? What are teachers teaching about Israel, about the Middle East, about Palestinians, Jews, Judaism, Islam, Hamas? What are they teaching, if anything, about anti-Semitism and its long history? How are they defining genocide? Teachers can't teach what they don't know. What do our teachers know about Jewish history and the history of the Middle East? Do they know about the Farhud, a pogrom of Iraqi Jews in 1941? Do they know that Muslim citizens of Israel have the same rights as Jewish citizens of Israel? In grades which do not cover these topics, how are teachers being told to respond to questions about them? What guidelines, if any, are teachers being given? What resources? What professional development? How is the Chancellor enforcing his directive that politics should be kept out of the classroom? How is he making sure that we educate rather than indoctrinate? I sent an email yesterday to the Chancellor and other NYCPS officials, elected officials, and the UFT asking all of these questions. I have not received an answer. I still have these questions. Words are meaningless without actions to back them up. You need to both root out the indoctrination that has already taken hold and replace it with accurate, unbiased facts. How is our school system doing that? We want to know.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much. And now, as we said, we're here for all of the Jewish individuals of the New York City Public Schools, but we want to hear from students. So we have students here. First, we have Anna Gabriello, an 11th grade NYC public school student. Anna?
I'm fortunate to attend public school that actually...
Can you spell your last name?
Sure. Gavrilo. I'm actually very fortunate to attend a public school that supports me and my Jewish Zionist identity. I'm not afraid to wear a sweater that says I'm Israel High, or take out my laptop with my Israel stickers on it. But my experience is an anomaly amongst other Jewish teens in New York City high schools, and most other Jewish teens do not have this privilege. As I left school today to come here, I spent a few hours at a coffee shop, and I was actually then hesitant to take out my laptop with my laptop stickers on my Israel stickers. There was no imminent threat, no danger, but I was hesitant on what people would say. Would anyone come up to me? Would anyone do anything? Now I only had to experience this uncomfortable feeling for a few hours. But Jewish students in New York City experience this all day, every day in their classrooms, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. Instead of just getting a dirty look from someone in a coffee shop, Jewish students have to face teachers who express anti-Israel bias in class and penalize them for proudly expressing their Zionism. Teachers spread information about Israel for class assignments. And us Jewish students still face bullying and are ridiculed just because of our Jewish identity. We
We sometimes forget that schools pose as our legal guardians during the school day. They have a solemn responsibility to protect their students, and they must not fail to protect us from hate and discrimination, especially in this day and age. They must no longer dismiss this as political speech and sweep it under the rug. It is anti-Zionism, it is Jew hatred, and it is lethal. The Department of Education must take action and have an obligation to confront anti-Zionism and protect us Jewish students. Am Yisrael Chai! 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 And fuck thank you so much. Am Yisrael Chai! Am Yisrael Chai! Am Yisrael Chai! Am Yisrael Chai!
All right, y'all.
Okay, everybody, now we have, thank you, Hannah. And now we have another student. We have Shayna Levin, a student at Brooklyn Tech. Shayna.
I am Jewish and I'm a New York City public school student. I'm currently attending my 7th school. I experienced anti-Semitism in 4 of these schools, starting in the 2nd grade. A girl in my class had started hitting me and said her mother forbade her from being my friend because all Jewish girls are stupid and evil. After my parents told the administration, the only thing that changed was the school that I attended. I believe that hiding my Jewishness would prevent things like this from happening again, but I couldn't be more wrong. 2 schools later, I was still hiding who I was, but the anti-Semitism only worsened. There were swastikas drawn on my notebooks, death threats made, and vows to finish Hitler's job were set on the school bus. Once again, the school's administration did absolutely nothing, and I had to switch schools once again. That year was a wake-up call I needed to realize that it makes no difference if I hide my Judaism and Zionism or if I show pride in it. The result is the same, the hatred of anti-Semitism and impunity for the anti-Semites. Many Jewish teens can relate to my experiences in the public school system, especially in the part about the administration's indifference. In all 4 schools where I've experienced anti-Semitism, the admins have attempted to gaslight my family and I, and to drop the issue. Now it is our time to ensure the issue is not dropped yet again, and that the rising tide of anti-Semitism is confronted head-on. You have all probably read, or at least know the gist of Chancellor David Banks' letter, which enables the continued hate toward Jewish students. The number of anti-Semitic incidents reported in NYC has increased from 22 on October last year to 69 in October last year, a 214% increase. Whereas the number of Islamophobic incidents reported in New York increased from 0 to 8. It is unfair to equate the 2 types of discrimination as Banks did when the levels are so drastically different. The DOE's mission statement reads, the DOE is committed to creating and supporting learning environments that reflect the diversity of New York City. Well, we are your Jews, NYC. Why does the learning environment not include us? Woo. Jewish students matter, not only when it is politically convenient for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We fight in all of NYC's fights for equal rights, for fairness, and for justice for all. Yet so many of our Jewish students feel, much like I did in the past, that they have to hide a key part of their identity. Some of us have attempted to play into others' vision of the good Jew, identifying as Jewish only to serve as an ally to others, but doesn't show their Jewish identity so as to not trigger the anti-Semites. Well, we are done.
Yeah.
We are no longer Jews with trembling knees.
Yeah.
We have presented the truth about Israel at school as pointed slurs were thrown at us. We have celebrated our culture and people while being threatened. We stood up for our Jewish brothers and sisters around us, even while the administration tried to silence us.
Yeah.
And we will never stop, because we're done conforming to society's ideas of the quote-unquote good Jew. We will no longer be silent.
Yeah.
happy to have Jesse with us. Is Jesse here? Jesse, for whoever doesn't know, is from Philos Project, a nonprofit organization and community who promotes positive Christian engagement in Near Eastern cultures and a true ally to the Jewish people. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all as a member of a Christian organization that's not afraid to stand by the Jewish community and to stand by Israel. Speaking on the purpose of education, Martin Luther King Jr. argued that education has both a utilitarian and a moral function.
Right.
To save man from the morass of propaganda, he said, is one of the chief aims of education. Education must enable one to sift and weigh evidence, to discern the true from the false, the real from the unreal, and the facts from the fiction. But education, he warns, which stops with efficiency, may prove the greatest menace to society. The most dangerous criminal may be the man gifted with reason, but with no morals. The words of Martin Luther King Jr. serves as an ominous warning of the danger we are confronting today, and a piercing reminder to all of us, but especially to Chancellor David C. Banks and to all public school boards and educators about what is truly the chief aims of education. Namely, that our public schools are not just there to create intelligent human beings, but rather human beings that are intelligent and furnished by the virtues of compassion, understanding, and moral clarity. To put it more bluntly, to solve the unprecedented acts of anti-Semitism that we have witnessed in our public schools since the wake of the Israel-Hamas war is going to require more than just inundating our children with more information and curriculum materials. It is going to take an unbreakable commitment to instill in them the character and moral clarity that is needed to say no to hate and bullying and to stand by their fellow Jewish classmates. But you see, character is not only taught, it must be exemplified. If our current leadership in our New York City public school systems lack the character to stand up for what is right and to speak up for all students, clearly and forcefully denouncing all types of hate, what should we expect to come out from our young people? As a native New Yorker and Latino who grew up in New York City and attended PS 98, IS 52, High School of Art and Design, and the City as School of High School, I'm saddened by the current state of our public school leaders. It was in these institutions where I learned to love who I was, where I looked up to my first mentors, where I developed a sense of belonging, and where I grew up with confidence and courage to face the challenge of today. Why? Due to the teachers who instilled in me faith and hope, not only in word, but in action. And I'm finished with this. At the moment, however, what are the actions currently representing the leadership in our New York City public schools? Students targeting a Jewish teacher in a riot. Right. Teens shouting anti-Semitic epithets against Jews in support of Intifada. Yes. And swastika graffiti painting in school properties. Let this not be the actions that will ultimately define our public schools. Do the right thing. And as Martin Luther King Jr. also said, it is always the right time to do right. And to my Jewish friends, I want you to know that you have a friend in the Philos Project, a Christian to stand by you and to stand against the haters. Am Israel Chai! 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 Am Israel Chai!
Am Israel Chai! Thank you, Jesse. And now we're very lucky to have two more students with us, brave students. Matan Alperson, are you here? Matan?
Hello everyone. As you know, my name is Matan Alverson. I'm an Israeli and Jewish high school student in a small town in upstate New York. Although I do not attend New York City public schools, my Jewish brothers and sisters bear similar scars of anti-Semitism. I'm also a proud Zionist and team leader at Club Z. Just like the rest of you, I am angry at the lies spread by the media and anti-Israel institutions and establishments within our country. But even more than that, I'm furious at the lies and propaganda taught in our schools and universities. Our public school officials are standing by as bigoted professors, teachers, and so-called educators are preaching hate and discriminatory dialogue. Throughout my experiences with anti-Semitism in public school, I have dealt with it all. From slurs being yelled at me to, unfortunately, physical violence. I have been told to go back to the chambers, to burn in Auschwitz. I would contemplate hiding my Judaism, but no. As Malcolm Begin once said, I will not be a Jew with trembling knees. I will never hide who I am. As Jews, we are a proud, strong, and united people. As many of you have, I have read Chancellor David Banks' letter, which completely undermines the reality of anti-Semitism within New York City public schools. We, as Jews, are sick of this permission for hate. The utter fact that the students have to hide their identity out of fear. Fear for their safety is nothing short of insane. The reason for this lack of education resulting in such hate lies here. The so-called zero tolerance of any form of bigotry is a blatant lie. We will no longer wait for temporary solutions. We will no longer be silenced by our administrators. As Jews and as students, never back down and never deny your true values. So when you see injustice, no longer stand by. No longer tolerate hate. Always stand up and always keep fighting for what is right. I'm Yitel Chai. Thank you.
Let's go, Gabe.
I wear my Star of David because I'm grateful to my parents for choosing to come to America to escape the anti-Semitism in the Soviet Union. The Holocaust and spread their stories to me. I'm wearing because of this country for giving me the freedom to do so. But recently, the rise of anti-Semitism within my school has made me feel unsafe. In my school, people I used to call friends proudly justifying the abduction of civilians while claiming they only want peace. And like many anti-Semitic cases, mine would be described as complex and difficult. Mr. Chancellor, you said in your speech that we must distinguish between hate, disagreement, and misinformation. But in your plan, you failed to do so. So let me help you. Mr. Chancellor, anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free is not social justice. It's a call for genocide. Mr. Chancellor, October 7th was an attempt to genocide on the Jews, and that is no exaggeration. Mr. Chancellor, by denying the facts, you are not being inclusive. By pushing neutrality, you are not being truthful. By not taking action, you are simply helping Hamas. Thank you.
And now we have Karen Feldman, who's a middle school teacher on the Upper East Side, and she's going to read really what it is a demand list to Chancellor Banks, and I'm going to turn the table over.
Thank you. I first want to take a moment and just recognize how wonderful it is to see us come together, the community, our allies. It gives me, and I'm sure all of you, a sense of reassurance that things are going to level and get better. So, as someone born and raised in New York City, and one who loves
schools. Not only have I seen a massive rise in student incidents, but I have also bore witness to many colleagues and educators spreading misinformation and flat-out lies. However, never did I imagine that the hate would spread so rapidly throughout the schools and the city. This is evident of the power and dangers of propaganda that is infecting our schools. Today, we are here to send a strong and clear message to our educational leaders, the leaders of the nation's largest school district, a system that I believe is the heart of our city. The Chancellor and his team have an incredible opportunity to guide the nation by modeling educational leadership in combating anti-Jewish hate. And we recognize discussions around this have already been happening. However, we believe in order for this to happen effectively and efficiently, we need to focus on 4 top priorities. 1, schools must have a toolkit or a protocol to define all forms of anti-Semitism. Many administrators, deans, and teachers have a hard time deciphering if an incident is anti-Semitic, if it doesn't come in the form of a swastika or a discriminatory slur. Calling an Israeli or Jewish student a baby killer because of the false belief that Israel is killing Palestinian babies on purpose is anti-Semitic. Targeting Jewish students because of their homeland is anti-Semitic. And delegitimizing Israel's right to defend itself or even exist is anti-Semitic. We need the New York City public school system to apply and enforce the IRA definition of anti-Semitism. Yep. Recognizing that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. 2, there must be Jewish representation in New York City public school leadership roles that believe and support Israel's right to exist. We are encouraging the Chancellor to create a Jewish Heritage Department that can be a liaison that will bridge administrators and classroom teachers to the educational resources that the Chancellor referenced in his plan to combat anti-Semitism. We need to make sure resources and workshops are not biased and based on opinions and propaganda. Any real steps forward have to be rooted in factual history, not a twisted narrative. Therefore, we must create a new vetting protocol under the guidance of the New York City Public School Alliance that effectively monitors and oversees resources, workshops, curricula, and classroom materials to ensure that they do not include historical revisionism or anything that may delegitimize Zionism or the right for Israel to exist. Unfortunately, after October 7th, we have seen many staff members feel comfortable enough to wear their hate in public. How can Jewish students and staff feel safe when their speech and language provider and UIT chapter leader are spewing false information and Zionist hate online or in school? How can students and staff feel safe when paraprofessionals in schools are calling all Jews Zionist pigs and saying resistance is justified? Or when a principal of a school is encouraging fellow DOE members to participate in an outside pro-Hamas educational course where they will be given 3 lessons that can be used in their classroom to promote hate. So number 4, we appreciate the Chancellor saying that there is a zero tolerance for anti-Semitism and all hate. But what does that look like?
We must enforce meaningful and serious consequences against students and faculty members who engage in any aggressive public disruptions and intimidation tactics as a form of advocacy for social justice. By focusing on these top priorities, we believe that New York City public school system will be able to meet the moment effectively. And in the words of the late Rabbi Sachs of blessed memory, anti-Semitism in any form is a serious threat to freedom, humanity, and the dignity of difference. Thank you. Thank you.
We also have a former superintendent from Brooklyn, Marty Weinstein, wants to say a few words.
Allow me to use my cafeteria voice. I just want to take this as a teaching moment. The building behind us was the epicenter for hate mongering at the turn of the century. During my first year of tenure as a superintendent, the DOE, Department of Education, had an epiphany. Let's teach children by understanding their respective needs. That sounds like a meritable undertaking, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? So, they used data to inform instruction to teach children to reach their idiosyncratic needs, and then someone had a further epiphany. What about the child's socio-emotional needs? So then they created an initiative called multiculturalism, and I was smitten with it. However, they came up with this unique form of multiculturalism to impact students through cartoons. And these cartoons of multiculturalism were released on Shabbat. And I vehemently objected. And I was told from Mr. Weinstein, you're a little bit partial. I mean, that's your respective tribe. I said, folks, a little bit further lending to your edification. I am the superintendent of East New York, Brooklyn, and the last time I checked, my constituency is largely Seventh-day Adventists, and they too practice the basic tenets of Shabbat.
Yes.
And standing on these steps, I think about Led Zeppelin's iconic song, The Song Remains the Same. So as I turn my back, I realize things have not changed. And I want to now hark back to our hate mongers. Shame, 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 shame.
All right, everybody. I can't thank all of you enough for coming out here today, but I want all of you to take a look around. Just pause for one moment. Look around you. You know what I see? I see what a true Jewish civil rights movement looks like. A true modern day anarchy. And I'm so glad all of you came out here today to stand with Jewish students, faculty, teachers, and parents, anyone who's been a victim of hate. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and we're only getting started. And we're not going to stop. And if anything, this is the beginning of something beautiful that I cannot wait to see flourish. And it all comes from all of you. You are all the core to our success. This is something that I've never seen before, ever, in my years of activism. And I can't thank you all enough for coming here tonight to stand with us, with the NYC, or the NYCPS Alliance, and End Your Hatred and every organization that came here to stand with us today.
And we're only called on to keep growing together as we fight Banks, we're looking forward to hearing from you. We're looking forward to speaking to you, and we're looking forward to truly being heard. Listened, heard, having a seat at the table, and having answers to all of our questions and to our list of demands. Let's go. Thank you.
And as we wrap up right now, I want to give a big shout out to NYPD.
What about Hatikva?
Hey, Leroy.
Hey.
I switched groups. I
Yeah.
closed down the other one, and
All right,
it's now
cool.
her route.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Route NYC, so.
I know.
Cool. So, phone about to die, but might as well take a picture. Schrader. All right, so that's it, guys. I'm gonna log off. Take care, everybody. My press pass here. Numbers here. Take care.